Hi Sagittarius, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your July 2021 love reading. Think it's to be like, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridge and the gap spread. And the way it works is we'll take a look at the past energies, present energies, and future energies between you and your main love interest. Then we'll pull some oracle cards to get some additional insight. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. And keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as theirs. If you feel like it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, and on the right side we have the Tarot Sexual Magic. Alright, so we'll fall out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Queen of Cups. So this is actually Cancer energy, which for you guys is your 8th house. So it could just be saying that you might have felt like really, strongly attracted to them. Physically attracted, but then at the same time I feel like you might not have necessarily been forthright about those feelings, so I feel like there was definitely interest there, especially if you look at her body language. She's leaning toward the cards on that side, but at the same time I feel like you might not have been too open about expressing your attraction toward them. Alright, past energy on their side, we have the Knight of Swords. So this is Gemini energy here, and it could just be saying that, you might have found them to be, at least they might have appeared to be very confident to you guys, but in another way you might have found them to be a bit controlling too. So it might have been like a bit of a draw to that, but at the same time you're a bit repelled by it, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm kind of feeling there. So that might have been part of why you fell back a little bit, like, okay, I don't know, if this person's going to be controlling or not. So I feel like you were just more in an observation mode in the past, but that's what I'm seeing there. Alright, and present energy on your side, we have the 8 of Coins. So this is actually Virgo energy, which for you guys is your 10th house. So it could just be saying that you're put a lot of focus into your careers, or at the very least just giving the impression that you're staying busy and not really putting much energy toward the connection. For some of you, this could be saying that you're actually putting in work toward the connection, but for the majority of you, I feel it's more the other way around, where it's like, you're just really staying busy, not giving much energy to the connection at this time. Alright. Present energy on their side, we have a few cards that came up. We have the 3 of Swords, which is Libra energy, Knave of Wands, and Knave of Swords. So we have the 3 of Swords, which usually points to disappointment and heartbreak. And then we have 2 Page energies here. The Knaves are the equivalent of Page in traditional tarot. So I feel like this is saying that, the attraction is still there on their behalf, but now I feel like this is saying by you focusing on yourselves, that could have them, losing a little bit of confidence, right? Because we see the Knight energy there, and it looks like he's a bit more in control, whereas here we see the guy looks pretty intimidated. So I feel like this is saying that, by you guys shifting the focus to yourselves, this has them feeling, a bit disappointed on the one hand, but also, they're losing a bit of confidence, which I guess if they were coming across as a bit egotistical in the past, that might be a positive, right? But that's kind of what I'm seeing there, where they might not know how to approach you now. Alright. Future energy on your side, we have the 4 of Coins. So this is Capricorn energy here, which is your 2nd house of finances. So this could just be, again, pointing to you guys really putting a lot more focus into your finances, not really putting much energy toward the connection. But interestingly enough, to see that the energy here, if you look at her facial expression, it looks like there's a level of disappointment, and then it also looks like there's someone, doesn't look like they're physically in the room with her, so it could just be saying that you might be at a distance from each other as well. But more than anything, I feel like this is saying that, oh, right, maybe that's the approach you took, right? Like, okay, this person wants to do things their way, right? So, okay, I'm just going to focus on myself. So I feel like that on the one hand, it might have felt satisfying, but now you might still feel a little bit disappointed there too, because it's like, okay, you're doing that, but you still might be thinking about this person at the same time too. And future energy on their side, we have the Knave of Chalices. So this is actually, again, another Page energy, but it's the equivalent to the Page of Cups. And if we think about it in traditional tarot, there's a fish coming out of the cup, right? Which to me represents usually an offer that might have sincerity behind it, but it might be a bit rushed too, right? Where if they didn't even look to see, oh, okay, there's a fish in a freaking cup, represents a little bit of a rushed effort. And here we see some crumpled up balls of paper in the background, right? If we could get that to focus, there we go. Some crumpled up balls of paper on the floor. It looks like he's crumpling up another one. It looks like he's trying to write something. So I feel like this is saying that they're, struggling trying to express their feelings to you, but at the same time, looks like you guys had the cup energy in the past, and now they're actually in the cup energy in the future, which is to say that I feel like, they might have had one approach in the past. Obviously, it didn't seem to work too well with you guys. And like I said, it looks like they might have lost some confidence in that process, and now it's like they want to express themselves to you, but they're having a little bit of difficulty doing so. So that's what I'm really seeing there. All right. Bottom of the deck on your side, we have Innocence. So this is the equivalent of the Fool card in traditional tarot. But more than anything here, in this deck, I feel like this is saying that, that could be pointing to what it is. Like maybe their approach just rubbed you the wrong way. So that could have been why you decided to withdraw a little bit from the connection. But I feel like this is saying there probably is still the feelings there. But like I said, it looks like you didn't like their initial approach. And now it looks like they're struggling to, it looks like the feelings might be sincere, but actually getting them to express it might be a bit difficult. So you might have to be a little patient if you still want to move forward with them. Bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Two of Swords. So usually that represents a bit of indecisiveness, trying to make a decision, but it's interesting. In this deck, we do see they're extending an offer, right? If that one rose and the woman is looking like she's not really interested in it. So, for some of you, this could be what they're fearing, right? That if they do come forward to you and express their feelings, that this might be the reaction they get from you, given how you've seemed to have, just shifted the focus back to yourselves in the past. But yeah, for some of you, could just be saying that the offer they do come through with, you might not be satisfied with it too. So I do have to at least mention that possibility. But it looks like they are going to, at least at the very least, they're thinking about making an effort toward you guys in the future. Alright, so moving on to the Oracle cards. First, we'll see if we get anything from the Aqua Moonlight deck here. I did pre-shuffle this deck, and I'm just going to be looking for jumpers, and we'll be looking for unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. But if I shuffle for a while without any cards coming up, we'll just move on to the next deck. Sometimes we get additional messages here, though. Oh, almost had one there. Okay, got one. And we'll see if we get any from them to you. Okay, got one there too. Alright, so on your side, we have Unrequited. Says, I'm not sure if we both feel. Oh, was focused. There we go. Says, I'm not sure if we both feel the same way about each other. So, interesting there, because it did look like he had the interest. But again, as I was viewing it as, maybe their approach kind of rubbed you the wrong way, but there was still interest there. For some of you, it could just be that, like where maybe they left such an impression on you to where you're not necessarily into this person. But at the same time, they're still showing up in your spread. So I don't know. It could just be one of those things where you might feel like the levels of feelings are a bit different. But let's see what we got on their side. All right, on their side, we have Rendezvous. I want to see you. So, nothing groundbreaking there. And of course, we do see, like I said, it looks like they're going to be attempting to reach out to you guys in the future. Might be a bit of a struggle as far as expressing their feelings. But again, like I said, I do feel like there is some sincerity there, but we'll see if you guys accept that or not. All right, and moving on to the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, same situation here. As far as that pre-shuffle this deck too, but here I'm just going to be looking for one card with general advice, and we'll wrap up. Alright, nothing's coming up, so what I'll do is I'll put the deck down and give me a few seconds to tune in, and we'll just pull a card. Okay, go with this one. Alright, it says higher power. There's the artwork, and the number is 4. So we'll see what it has to say. Okay, it says conscious contact with a higher power, the presence of the divine, seeing source energy in all things, committing to a partnership with spirit. The Oracle's message. This card reminds you that you are more than a person trying to get ahead and make things happen for yourself and others. You have an immortal soul and are gifted with a human life through which a higher power can express itself. At this time, you need to be conscious of your connection to your spirit and foster it through prayer and meditation. Ask, what is the highest good for all? How can I serve? Then get out of your own way and trust that there is a plan for your life more wondrous than you can ever know. You are always protected and divinely directed. So interesting message there when it mentioned more than a person trying to get ahead and make things happen. When we were talking about how this is 10th house energy for you guys, which is career focused. This is 2nd house, which is finance focused. Could just be saying that maybe in the past you had more of an open mind as far as the being tapped into spirituality and just emotion in general. And then with the Fool card at the bottom of the deck, for some of you could just be saying that, you know, if you're not liking what you're seeing in your love lives, the key might be to reconnect to that side of yourselves. But hopefully that resonated. All right, the relationship message says it's time to address how much effort you give to your relationship with your higher power called God, Goddess, Spirit, or any other name that is sacred and holy. Recognize that your partnership with Spirit is your number one priority. The appearance of this card also indicates that there is a deep spiritual bond between you and another person who is essential to your growth and evolution. Tend to your spiritual connections and remain aware of your true nature. So interesting message there too, because in a way I feel like that could be saying that could even be the link between the two of you, where for this person, it looks like in the past they were disconnected from their emotions in a way, and now it looks like in the future with that Knave of Chalices, they're trying to reconnect with that. You know, looks like it still might be a bit of a struggle, like I said, but at least it looks like they are making that effort toward that. So, interesting message there, but hopefully it resonated with you guys. Wrap up there, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.